Zibix. I'm not even sponsored by them. I just got some from being on somebody else's podcast, Drinking Bros. You got a little bit of nicotine in a toothpick. I don't know. If you're a smoker or a vapor, oh man, do you know vaping is bad? You know that? It's like, you know, I don't want to burst your bubble or anything. Have fun. You know, drinking's probably bad. Everything's probably bad. You know, you got your Coca-Cola products and they kind of own everything. And once they own everything, they make it a little cheaper and they put a little thing in there that's maybe not that good. I just find that when you only consume products from these mainstream people, that you are fat and tired. And when you're fat and tired, you're beatable. And when you're beatable, you lose. And when you lose, you got nothing. And then you get bitter and you start attacking people on Instagram because you know they're doing better than you. Because everybody's doing better than you. And it's not even according to me, it's according to you. You hate yourself. That's why you spin on there. Rumblebean, are you going to be a part of the show or are you going to be ejected? Come up here and take a large glass of shut the hell up. Okay. So, last week I talked about a hip injury that was attached to my buttocks area that was, I was feeling a bit stupid, you know? I was like, you've gone a little too far. You could have gone home, but instead you kept going, and now you are it's all about Rumblebean. Excuse me, everybody. You need to go, Rumblebean. I can't work under these conditions. Yes, it is entirely your fault. And I got to focus, and it's like, it is kind of cute, and you're weird looking and stuff, and it's like, whoa, does that guy have like a hairless midget cat? Yeah. She's calling you. Go to mama. Thanks, Jules. Oh, I can't focus with that dickhead. I feel his anxiety. He's like, I gotta go. And I'm like, you really don't have to, but okay. Anyway, what was I saying? So my butt hurts, right? And I was, talking about the guy that runs a lot. I don't want to say his name. It's gone crazy. You can go so crazy. It's kind of like, you ever meet a guy that's really jacked? You know what they talk about? Being jacked. They can't not talk about it. And if you're not really into talking about being jacked, it's boring. Same as skateboarders. They only talk about skateboarding. Which is cool if you just want to talk about skateboarding. But sometimes it's a bit too much. And I think sometimes you can be so healthy that you're unhealthy. Sometimes you can be such an athlete, you can be such a push the limit guy that now you're a dumbass because you push the limit to the point where you're detrimental to yourself. And I thought about that last week because I was like, I'm really hurt. And the thing that was annoying me the most about that was when I would look at my hip and my buttocks. My hip was bruised, but my buttocks was not. And my buttocks was really sore. It's still really sore right now, but for the last week, it's been, I don't take anything. I don't take anything to run from the pain, I don't want to, I see the thing, and I don't know this factually, but, the ibuprofens and all the things that they're like bad for your stomach, or they do things where I'm like, you know what? How much of an edge does it take off? Not enough for me to risk being unhealthy because I'm always trying to be healthy because, I'm almost 54 and I don't want to die yet because I'm like, I got a lot longer to go into comedy and being like in love and being a parent and I'll probably conquer some. I'll probably do some. I'm gonna jump out of a helicopter soon on a skateboard. That's cool. I'm doing stuff. But yeah, I was like, you got to maybe take it easy, maybe pace yourself. Sometimes it's like, right, that really hurts. Maybe go home. And I'm like, go home. You're a pussy. And I'm like, that's not exactly true. I don't believe that like in the dictionary, if you type in puss, that Big Daddy J's cake shows up. I believe that I'm on a nope. I don't believe that's true. So maybe don't talk so meanly about that about yourself like that, because it's not true. But also, every now and then you got to learn, like, go home and get some sleep and come back and do it again. Don't kill yourself for it. So that is a lesson that I have learned from last week. And because of my sobriety, that lesson that I have learned will remain in my mind for the rest of my days, because I no longer run from anything. And when I remember something that is like a lesson to be learned, it stays in my brain because I sat with it. I tried to sit with it, but it hurts too much. But anyway, great news this morning, because I'm working out. Oh, here's another one real quick. This is between us. Let's face it, nobody's listening. I'm in love. And when I'm in love, this is the thing that people can relate to. When you're depressed, you can lose weight, right? Like the depressed diet, I can no longer do it, but it works. When you're happy, you're like, hey, what's a donut? And as you guys know, I love a donut. I love a cake. I love a pastry. I love some fun. And I've dropped off a little bit on the, I lift weights. I get up in the morning and I look in the mirror and I'm like, yeah, man, like, you don't have like a six pack, but like you're jacked, you're good. We're good. No, nothing to be ashamed of here for your age. You look great. I'm cleaning the cat's bathroom and vacuuming, and I hit something underneath the dresser, and I'm like, what is that? And it's a scale. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even know I had that one. And I pull it out. It's got kitty litter all over it. I clean it off. And I'm like, I wonder if it still works. And I stood on it, and I was 236 pounds, dude. 236 pounds. Like, that is crazy. Like, I know I've been lifting weights and I probably put on, like, I know the Catherwood's like this water weight or whatever, but, I used to walk around like 205. That was me in shape. I've been 220 before, but that was fat, baby shoulders. But now my shoulders are bigger, and my muscles are definitely bigger. I've definitely put on muscle. So 220, 225 is like, I'm still pretty good. I'm still pretty athletic. 236 is a giant fat person, according to me. And I was like, oh, hell no. That ain't going to happen. So I immediately started working out and sweating and lifting, and most importantly, went back to my animal-based diet. Don't DM me about it. Google it. You know what I mean? I'm not your fucking encyclopedia. I'm so sick of that. How do you do it? Google! Google it! If you really wanted it, you would Google it. If you're asking me, it's because you just want to chit-chat. I ain't your mama. Get your shit together. If I was your mama, I'd say get your shit together. Google it. Stop asking me for shit. Make it your own way. Get off your own ass and make it happen. That's how everybody that gets things done gets things done. They get off their own ass. They don't get someone else. Wait, is that not on vibrate? I didn't even know that. Did someone just text me oink? I swear to God. Right. Someone just texted me oink, and then another retard just texted me, where's Tully? Okay. This is the podcast. It's called Jason Ellis 2.0. I do this podcast by myself. The Jason Ellis Show as a podcast failed. It's over. I now do this by myself for zero money, but it does help the occasional human being, so it is completely good with me. I'm not going to bring Tully in here to waste his time for zero money. He has kids. He has a life. There's no point in it anymore. The Patreon, patreon.com/Ellis, where you can watch this recording live every week, but then it disappears and it only goes out as a free podcast that you can get on Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, blah, 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 because it's a podcast. But the Patreon is where Tully is 2 days a week. Jason Ellis, Zach, and Tully do a show on Patreon 2 days a week. Then I do another show by myself, only on Patreon, called Awesome World, where I do another show by myself. This is a podcast called Jason Ellis 2.0, where it's just me. There's no Tully on the fucking podcast anymore. The podcast makes no money. This is for the love of the game. If you don't like it, fuck off. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Tully has his own Patreon. You can listen to him by himself. Do you ever go on there and ask him, where's Jason? Fuck off. Sorry, I'm just energetic. I'm inspired. I got to learn how to make this thing turn. Sorry, mate. I know. Look, I'm being aggressive, but I'm not aggressive. I cuss because I'm from Australia. I'm sorry. It's not that. Look, you got to be passionate about stuff, you know? I'm just being passionate. I got no beef. I get it. Everybody I love Tully. He's great. I did this podcast. I do this by myself. I got to the point where I was like, the Jason Ellis Show, if Joe Rogan was on the Jason Ellis podcast, it would do no numbers. Nobody likes us on podcasting. You like Theo Von and the Joe Rogan Experience and your mum's house. And that's awesome. Hell yeah. Fighter and the Kid. Everybody. Woo. They don't like this. Oh my God. I don't know how to make it stop. Wait, what button do you press? I think I did it. Yeah, so I'm not mad. Sorry. I'm just passionate. And it's like what I was trying to get to. But first I got to get back to my butt. My butt is now completely purple, which is so good because for a minute there, my butt is a little bit swollen. I can tell my pants are tighter, but there's no real bruising. And I'm like, dude, I can barely sit down. It doesn't seem that hurt, but now it looks really hurt. It's starting to feel better. Weird how the bruising comes out and then the pain goes away a bit more. But I'm on the other side, but my butt is completely purple. And I'm like, hell yeah. Because for the last week, I've been like, oh my God, that really hurts. And now it looks like it really hurts. And I'm like, all right. Whew. Thought I was a bit of a puss. Turns out, nah, mate. Hard as fuck. Anyway, getting back to the pash. Also, thejasonellis.com if you want to get tickets to my show. I'm going to be in the East Coast in a couple of weeks. New York and in Atlantic City and Connecticut? Yeah. All right. Yeah. And then merch, man. New Wolf Knife merch. Sick Wolf Knife merch. Skateboard. thejasonellis.com. Skateboards, hoodies, and t-shirts. Hell yeah. All right. There's some plugs. But yeah, getting back to being passionate. I know it sounds aggressive, and I apologize, but also I don't apologize because sometimes you just need to harden the fuck up and take it like a fucking man, you know? Do you guys know who Michael Schumacher is? Pretty good race car driver. Do you know who Niki Lauda is? So there's a movie called Rush, right? Most of you have seen it because it's got that really good-looking Australian guy in it, and we're all dickheads. What's his name?
I don't know.
Somebody in the chat. Yeah, type in Rush. Chris Hemsworth. I got it. All right, we're good. So Chris Hemsworth, very good-looking guy, and he plays this guy. Look at Rush because I need to know the guy's name. Something Hunt. I keep forgetting the guy's name that is the movie that it's based on. Is it Greg Hunt? James Hunt. So James Hunt, right, raced against Niki Lauda. They raced their whole careers and their amateurs together. They were very aware of each other. But Niki Lauda had the brain to understand how to design a car that would handle better and he would do better in racing. Arguably, James Hunt was a better driver. Arguably. But if you know how to make a car sit better, and Nicky had Ferrari, so he had better sponsors, and James was always trying to hunt him down. And, they both won and lost to each other a bunch of times in their career. But it came to a point, and this is a true story. You can Google it. Again, you could Google it. Niki Lauda crashed and was burnt alive in a there's video. He crashes, his car's on fire, another car hits him while he's on the track burning, and they couldn't get him out for a considerable amount of time. If you Google it, you will see there is photos of his helmet, and the shield on his helmet is melted. That's how hot his head was. And if you look at his face after it, it's a good thing about being ugly. When you're ugly and you catch on fire, it's not as bad as being incredibly handsome and then being on fire. Like Chris Hemsworth is in a car crash and his face gets melted, that's bad. But if Joe Biden is in a car crash and his face melts, who cares, You idiots anyway. But anyway, Niki Lauda caught up for these guys race, right? And they race in a race. This is before now it's a lot safer. But I believe in the 80s, people died, not every race, but several people died every year in Formula One. So you're doing a sport where every race could be your last day on planet Earth. You got to respect that. You got to respect being, we work, we do things. People are out there. We had a fight last weekend, Canelo. He didn't even get knocked down. He lost, but he didn't even get knocked down. Let alone die. He didn't die. No one died. Crawford, congratulations. But this guy, Niki Lauda, caught on fire. His head melted. The whole top of his head melted. Look at a photo of him. He's got half an ear. He's like the Chopper Reed of motorsports, where a guy didn't chop his ear off to get out of being killed by a gang, but fire melted his ear off. It ain't coming back. That one's a goner. Look at that. Dude, bruh, look at that. Think about the pain of your face being on fire so much that your ear is gone. He has Freddy Krueger face. He is Freddy Krueger. So that dude's head melts off, right? And he's ahead in the points. And his head melts off, and he's in hospital watching James Hunt slowly get more points to surpass Niki Lauda to win the championship of that particular year. I can't remember the year. It doesn't matter. Niki Lauda, one of the greatest human beings that has ever lived, and that's why, if you want to learn how to get fit, if you want to learn how to be good at stuff, shut up and get to it. And if it hurts, again, excuse my French, shut the fuck up, fucking get up and go. Get it done. Don't be a bitch. Sometimes it's okay to be a bitch, but every now and then, if you want the glory, you got to hit the harden the fuck up button. I'm cussing a little bit because I'm trying to be motivated. I'm trying to be inspirational. I'm trying to motivate myself and other people because sometimes, look, dude, there was a fight this weekend, UFC fight. The guy almost cried before he fought. And then after he lost and he cried because it was everything to him. We're just farting around looking at fucking TikTok, doing nothing, eating Cheetos. You ain't crying when you lose your job. It's got to be everything you ever wanted in your life. Live or die. This is your life. You are going to die. That, no one's got an argument about that. You are going to die one day. Why not put it all on the line? Everything. Risk it all. Lose and cry. Be emotional. And then get the fuck up in the morning. Go again. Rage. Into the light. Niki Lauda's head burnt off. And before the season was over, he was back in the car. He couldn't put the helmet on because his head was melted. He still had bandages on his head. And he raced. And he got points back to the point where he was ahead. Again, a melted head, but a head that's still the same. And then James Hunt, in a rainy race, went ballistic. Went out and did the hottest laps in the rain. Again, Google. There's video. It's a bit grainy because it's the 80s. But homie is doing 160 in the rain around turns where the car is letting go and he's fighting it. And he's passing other people that are like the greatest race car drivers in the world. And they're like, whoa, Jesus Christ, you're fucking crazy, dude. Crazy life. Let it go. This could be it. I'm going to die. But nah, I want to win. And if I have to lose it all to win, so be it. The passion, the drive that it takes to want to be this person. It's on video. So you know it's true. And this is before CGI. He really did it. He really did that race. And then he won. And he won the championship. And because he won the championship, he did copious amounts of cocaine and partied. And then he died.
Like a man.
Like a man. Like a real idiot. But that's his choice. That's the thing. You can't turn it off. That's the thing. You get in and you're like, I will die before I lose this. And when you have this commitment where you say to yourself, I will die before I lose this, when you win or you lose, you can't turn it off because it's such a glorious feeling to know that this is it. I am riddled with fear and I will fucking face you in the middle and we will go. All my fears, right, head on. Go. What you got? Take your best shot. I will fucking fight you. And when you win, it's pretty hard not to be like, man, we got to get some champagne and some hoes, you know? It's like it's the 80s, you know? They're millionaires. That's the other thing. When they won, they got millions of dollars. They had private jets. He private jetted to other countries with like a lot of women in his private jet and went to parties and had like cigarette sponsors. Bruh. Marlboro probably paid that dude $1 million. I would smoke. But yeah, he died. But Niki Lauda, that's what I'm saying. There's levels, you know? James Hunt won and was like, that's it. Niki Lauda, melted face and all, raced for like another decade. Won multiple races. Ended up being the team manager for Ferrari. Then I think he ended up being the team manager for Mercedes, if I'm not mistaken. But like motorsports, man. He furthered the motorsport. He made, you know, and it's like he's just a great human being. It's like how to Jaguar racing team. Yeah, but look, the Mercedes. Yeah. Lewis Hamilton signature, like the guy was in motorsports. Did he die? He died, right? Like the other day. It's a fair question. Is he alive? Oh, he died. He died, right?
Yeah, 6 years ago.
6 years, right. But he lived such a glorious life. Such a glorious guy. He oversaw the movie Rush and made the movie about James Hunt more than him because he's that much of a legend, you know, like he won numerous championships, but the movie's more about James Hunt and you know how he says, like, if it wasn't for James, I wouldn't have pushed myself to this level, which is, it's just inspirational stuff, man. And that's like the thing where we have people talking about other eras. Yeah, look, Ed Senna apparently is the best driver that ever lived. And honestly, I feel like when it comes to the cars and the setups, and you know more about that, so your car handles better, and then you win, hats off to you. But like driving, like you got your skills. That's what I care about. And I think James Hunt was the better driver, and that particular drive he did in the rain was like one of the greatest drives anyone's ever done in motorsports, as far as I'm concerned. But then again, my uneducated opinion means nothing. But I think what I'm trying to say is, you know, we're caught up in this bullshit. I actually stopped watching social media in the morning. I have made it a new thing to me because it was like a thing. I wake up, I look at my little prayer thing, and then I start scrolling, and you know, I'm in the middle of trying to be a successful comedian. You know, if there was a Instagram that just showed comedy, then okay, I would scroll. But to know about anything else means nothing to me, Jon Snow. I just need to watch comedy every day, all day. I need to write at least 7 jokes every morning, whether they're good or bad. And I'm finding some places to go up around here. And my car, should have my car back this week. So crazy. Somebody, I blocked somebody today that said something about not being a cowboy, which is it's such an insane world that we live in. Like, this is a person that has talked to me about skateboarding, where I'm assuming they skated, you know? And it's like, you're not a cowboy. Your pants are skinny. I'm like, they're not skinny. I've just got big legs. Like, they're not whatever those skinny jeans. They're not skinny jeans. Like, I've got them. They're not. Stop. It's not true. Stop doing that. Fake news. You can't say I have them on when I don't. When I look at my legs and I'm like, no, they're not. And it's like, yeah, you are. And I'm like, no, but they're not. They're not. So you can't say that. And it's like, you live in the city, you're not a cowboy. I'm like, I don't feel like you can be a skateboarder, and I could be like, you're not a real skateboarder. What? Because you're not top 10 in the world? If you skate and you love skating, you're a skateboarder. You know? No! You're not allowed to. You ruined the show. Sorry, I'm talking to my cat. But yeah, I think I'm pretty nice about stuff. I'm pretty level-headed about things these days. And it worries me, you know? It's like something bad happens, I'm like, yeah, we'll figure it out. And then something good happens, I'm like, that's cool, but it's not that important, you know? And I think that's a part of my sobriety and making adjustments mentally to stay composed. And, you know, it's like environments, you know, you want to be around the right environment. You want to be around the right people. You know, if everyone's negative, you want to get out of that environment. If everybody is a drug addict, you want to get out of that environment. If everybody's into crazy amounts of sex, I don't want to be in that environment. That's like something that's not good for me. And, you know, you're in your own head more than you're around other people. And if your head is spinning with a bunch of other stuff, it's an environment that I don't want to be around. And I think I've had like the safety on, so to speak, where don't get too excited about anything because you don't want to feel like you're gonna use celebrate, you know? That's a thing, you know, my upbringing. You win and then you celebrate. So I don't want to celebrate too hard because then I'll feel an emptiness from not celebrating in a way that I would call celebrating, you know, which would involve sex, drugs, and rock and roll, you know. But there's this feeling that you can cut off, you know. So I think the work that I've put in, I'm getting to a point now where I've been thinking about it lately, where it's like it's a very exciting time to be alive. And I think if you look at social media, you could disagree with that, you know. And I think fighting back mentally is key right now, because there's a lot of darkness in the world. There's always been darkness in the world, you know. People used to throw babies into fires, bruh. You know, 100 years ago, I don't know, a long time ago, but still, you know, there's people that get stolen off the street and put into adult work or whatever you want to call it. There's bad stuff always happening. But you got today, you know? And if you can't do anything about it yourself right now, then you need to love your brother and sister and make the most of your day. And be passionate about what it is that you're doing, you know? And I think a lot of people these days, I'm starting to gather that the negativity that I see on social media, a lot of these people, that is what is happening, where they're caught up in it and they don't like their job, they don't like their wife, they don't like their friends, they don't like their life. So the highlight is to get on social media and attack somebody that is doing better than them. And if you're in that kind of a darkness, everybody's doing better than you. You're in hell. And as somebody that's been in the dark, you know, I think there was a time there where if there, I was before social media at my darkest, I would have been one of those people. I just didn't have Twitter or Instagram. But I think falling in love with your life, you know, creating stuff in your mind and then putting it out there, making it an actual thing where you can see it, touch it, smell it. You know, making something from scratch and being proud of it, whether it's the best or the, you know, what rank it is or how many people care about it. That means nothing to me, Jon Snow. You know, I love this podcast. I love doing it. I love what I've said today. You know, I love the struggles. You know, the contemplation last week of like, hey, man, how much longer are you going to keep doing this skateboard thing where you're in that much agony and you drive like I drove 6 hours, bruh. And I also know that there's people that drive 6 hours a day to go to work and it's not a big deal. Yeah, but that doesn't like snuff my work ethic out. I'm still glorious. Be pumped on yourself. I have a purple ass right now from smacking the crap out of it. 54 in a month from now. And my butt is pulsating, son. And it's pulsating with glory. Well, that's as gay as I've been in a minute. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't. But I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to have another chance of the day. And, you know, sometimes I get caught up in stuff. And the next thing you know, I'm like twiddling my thumbs, looking at TikTok, where I could be creating and getting pumped. You know, get into it. Teach. I'm gonna do training and exercise videos. And I'm gonna start a new Patreon with my girlfriend on how to get fit and take care of yourself. And it's gonna be a little tough. You know, how do I do? I can't. What about this? Fuck off. If you don't want it, I already know. You know, it's but the thing is, those are the people I can't stand. I'm telling you. Yeah, but the thing is, nah. There is no but the thing is. You fucking do it. 5 minutes a day. Then there's no yeah, but the thing is. Everybody can do it. Excuses. Excuses are a waste of time. You've only got today. There is no yeah, but the thing is. There's only yeah, I'm doing it. That's it. You know, if you're burnt out, have a nap. Naps are actually, fuck off. If you're tired, have a nap. If you can't have a nap because you got to go to work, go to fucking work. You know, if you're fat, stop eating. I'm really hungry at night. Shut the fuck up. This hand does not go here. It doesn't go there. Go to bed. Do some squats. Read a book. Harden the fuck up. Weak. And everybody's born weak. We're the weakest species on the planet. We're the only people that fly out of vaginas and are completely useless. See deers? They fly out of the puss and then they run off. We can't run. We suck. But in here, the intelligence to drive the brain into the body that does the impossible. You know? The Nicky Lauda, when he flew out of a vagina, he didn't land in an F1 and do like 200 mile an hour. It took time. It took work. That's the problem with everybody these days. You want it for free. You want it on your lap. Bitch ass. Earn it. If you don't earn it, you don't appreciate it anyway. Did you know that there's a certain amount of blowjobs where you don't want a blowjob anymore, you want a sandwich? Do you know why I know that? I've had a lot of blowjobs. Sorry, right there. Spoiler alert, I know the answer to that. Get out there and do it. You know? Get out there and do it. If you're the guy or the girl that is going on social media today to tell somebody that they suck, the person you're telling they suck, they're not the one that sucks. You are. If you want to get fit, it's not one day. It's every day. It's all the time. I'm going to do a thing. I'm going to show you photos of my shoulders and then what they are now. I've always had baby shoulders. That was my name at the gym. You know why I had baby shoulders? Because the thing is going to the gym, I broke my collarbones a lot. But the thing is, bitch ass. Then I just started going. Then I got sober. And then when I started going, I would go back the next day because I was never in a mood-swinging mood anymore. It was always pretty level. So, are you going to go tomorrow? Well, the same guy as yesterday woke up as the same guy from yesterday. So that guy is still here, and that guy doesn't want baby shoulders anymore. So he just keeps going. That guy is trying to get good at comedy. Sometimes I'm a little moody, I'm a little tired, so I don't go to comedy. No, I'll go. I'll go tired. I'll go sore, you know? I'm not going to burn myself out because now you're just showing up pretending you're like, what are you trying to show everybody, that you just show up no matter what? And you can get a pat on the back for being there? I ain't there to fucking make friends, dude. I'm there to master the craft. Master the craft. Someone said, first 10 minutes of the show, I'm 260. Last minute, I'm a fitness guru. Right, Michael, you're fat and you're weak and I could smash you easily. And you know that. And that's why you're saying it. And I didn't say it was 260. I said it was 235. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, the next day, I was 226. I lost 9 pounds in one day. Can you do that? Actually, you probably could because you're probably a big fat person. And you could, but you probably can't because you can't stop yourself from doing it. Oh, look, I told you I was in love. I was having fun. I'm not actually that unfit. I skate great. I still box. I move swiftly. But I was like, 236. That one got me. I didn't see it coming, but now I nip it in the bud. No big deal, you know? It's no big deal. I can admit it. People make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. I will make several probably today. But the difference is, and this is a thing I've always sort of done, I'll get hurt and be like, well, you're hurt. And then I'll get fat and go, oh, absolutely not. You know, that's the difference. When you get real fat, it's like you see yourself as fat, your pants don't fit, and then you get a pizza. You know? Like, when I see myself as fat or I'm getting out of shape, I get back in shape. Everybody gets a little out of shape, you know? I know there's UFC fighters out there that get a little fat. And then they get back in shape, time for the fight. Unlike Kelvin Gastelum, who missed weight for like the 7th time in a row. That guy, that's insane, dude. That's your job. That's crazy. But what do I know? Maybe he's going through some stuff. But yeah, nice try. Yeah, my girlfriend was like, you did not lose 9 pounds in one day. And I was like, look at me on the scale. But it's that easy, you know, when you're having fun and you're like, Krispy Kremes, you know? It's like, well, I'm fit. What's the big deal? And then I don't know how long it was since I stood on a scale, but I was like, okay, that you have, whoops. You gotta get back on track. So now I'm back on my animal-based diet, and I've been boxing in the backyard with clothes on, sweating, and I've been getting more excited about my day. I feel safer about saying that. Because like I said before, it was like, I don't want to get too excited about anything because I'm worried about the environment. If I get too excited, then I'll feel like I'm missing out by not partying. And I don't want to party. Deep down, I don't want to. I don't miss it. But I do miss being excited. And now I do trust myself to be excited and not do something that can jeopardize what I have right now. And I think I really had to worry about that. And now I feel great about it. Well, Michael's desperate for attention. Poor horse. My horse is 1,200 pounds. He ain't too worried about riding me. Also, we jumped hurdles yesterday, which was pretty cool. Made another connection with him yesterday. Stayed there a bit longer. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. Wow, that was dude. Yeah, it was a long day yesterday. I had my girlfriend's parents were at the house last night. Cooked dinner. Her dad's birthday. You know, again, I enjoyed their company. I enjoyed talking to them. You know, old Jason would be like, oh, old people. You know, get out of here. When am I going to smoke weed? You know? And now it's like, this is the parents of the person that I love. And I'm enjoying their company. And I'm like asking them questions about their life and about what Juliet was like when she was a little kid. And it was like interesting to me. And all those things would never have meant anything to me back when I was high. Because all I'm thinking about is like how to get high again. Because it's just a thing that I'm stuck in. I just have to keep getting high. And I don't even know why I'm getting high anymore. I'm just running. I've run for so long. I don't know what I'm running from. And we're all guilty of it, you know? People talking smack on social media. You're guilty. You should go out and do something with your life. And then you'll find that people that are talking about positive things or how they're changing their lives won't be irritating to you anymore because you'll be part of the club. You'll be doing stuff too. I'm happy for people. when they do well, you know? Like sincerely. And it feels great. You know, my coach is in France right now with his girlfriend. They've been on a couple vacations recently. I can't afford to go on a vacation, but I'm very happy that he can. Sincerely. No, Rebel Bean, you can come in for Awesome World, but you're shut off for the podcast. You blew it. So, yeah. Be passionate about something. You know, I guess that's what I'm taking from today. Be in love with something. Start from scratch, you know? You know, it's a thing. You're out of shape and you want to get in shape, and it's hard. You know, I've always had this analogy. It's like, I want to get fit, but the first couple of days trying to get fit, it's like, you know, like fat people don't eat in public because they don't want people to go, well, that makes sense, you know, because you're worried about what you look like. You know, fuck some people. You know, somebody that doesn't like what I do, I don't know who they are. Man, you've really let me down. I don't know who the fuck you are. Why do I care? How did social media do that? How did comments on the comment page do that? I don't know who you are. I'm not commenting on you. I don't know what your page is. I'm doing shit. It's like going to, you know, the biggest one is going to a boxing gym. When you go to a boxing gym, everybody in the gym knows how to box except you. And there's for sure somebody that's in the corner watching you going, man, that guy doesn't even know what he's doing. He doesn't even know how to rap. And you know it, and you're probably right. It's probably happening. Who cares what some guy in the corner that knows how to box thinks about you not knowing how to box? You just started. Get in there. Go. You know? Because in 10 years from now, you can be the dickhead in the corner that's judging that other asshole because he doesn't know what he's doing. Or you could get back to boxing. Get back to life. Get back to writing your memoir. I don't give a shit. Write a movie. Make a comedy sketch. Make a cake. Learn how to do something. You know? Figure out a craft. Craft. I don't know where I'm from anymore. Do something with your life. Stop trying to tear down other people's lives. Because you know people that are actually good at things and have put in the work. When you tear down, it's a classic sign that you feel insignificant. And I'm not mad. I feel sorry for you. That's why I'm doing this show. Get up and go. Go do stuff. Love things. Stop listening to this podcast. Don't die.